That was the worst 90 minutes of football I've watched in a long time. And we just lost to PSG 5-2 in the middle of the week. What's going on? What's going on? You know what's a problem? When the most entertaining part of the game was the fact that the referee was in our huddle before the game. That I thought we were up for a fun day. Chelsea looked like they were in good spirits, having a little bit of fun. And then we watch Premier League slop for 90 minutes. I wish I could get my time back, but I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff. I appreciate you for making it here. Road to 10 subscribers. Be the 10th. Be the special 10th. Now, if this video goes over 10 minutes, I have failed you because there is literally nothing to talk about. This game, let's look at the lineup. After the PSG game, it's a pretty similar setup. It's just Garnacho instead of Neto because Neto is suspended, and then Sanchez made his way back into the team over Jorgensen. This whole goalkeeper situation is a mess now. You could say this is one of our stronger lineups, but it didn't look like it. It definitely didn't look like it in the game. And Newcastle didn't have Bruno, didn't have Tonali. Joe Linton was on the bench. Woltemade is in midfield. This isn't some prime Newcastle team either. They're focusing on Barcelona in midweek, and we're focusing on PSG, I guess, which doesn't even make sense. We're sacrificing the league. I don't even say we're sacrificing because we put out a pretty strong lineup. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why we had no energy. It looked like we were saving energy for PSG when we should be focusing on the league. The Champions League, they spanked us. We're gonna need a miracle to get back in that. The league, we can still top four, top five is still within our grasp if we lock in and take this seriously. But instead, in a game that had 0-0 written all over it, this like if you told me if I just watched that blankly, especially that second half, and then you told me at the end, oh, actually Newcastle won that game, I would be shocked because the way that we played in that second half, both Chelsea and Newcastle obviously were defending the lead. You could have told me we had the lead, bro. We had no urgency. The pass spam side to side to side to side. That was some of the worst and most dreadful football I've watched in a long time. But let's talk about this first goal because Newcastle, credit to them. Obviously, they won the game. I'm not gonna take anything away from them. They did what they had to do. They came to the bridge, stole the 3 points, and left. And then they conserved a lot of energy to take to. I guess no, their game's gonna be at St. James's Park, so they're still staying home, but to take back home to face Barcelona in midweek, where they still wait. No, the first game was at St. James's Park. They're going to the Camp Nou actually, so they're going to Spain. So they really needed to conserve energy because they're going to be under the cosh for 90 minutes against Barcelona. But they did what they had to do, and Chelsea. We were the team at home that needs to show the impetus to go and win that game. And this has been the story at home for a while now. At home we're just not scary. Like we're not, we haven't made this a fortress. We don't really put teams to the sword. We're always going down 1-0 to start games. And of course, Newcastle, who weren't even really going for it. You can look at the momentum here. This kind of even tells the story that they had a little bit of a chance early. We really took control of the game. Didn't really do much with it. We had chances here and there. And then they just score out of nowhere, literally against all the run of momentum, and then they start to get a little bit of momentum after that. But large parts of the game, we're just controlling the game. But their goal, I think it was Chalaba out of position with some counter pressing. Reece James trying to go take in his spot, but the gap is so wide. They parted the Red Sea, allowing, I believe it was Livramento, to play one ball through the middle of our defense. Just simple to, I think it was to Willock. Yeah, it was Willock who goes through, and then it's 2v1. It's Willock versus Sanchez, and Gordon's right there, just gets the layoff. He literally walks the ball into the net, and we're down 1-0. We handed them a goal in a 0-0. We lost what should have been a 0-0 draw because we handed them a goal out of nothing, literally out of nothing, and then we couldn't go and get a goal back for what is it, 80 minutes after that, basically, because there were 8 minutes of added time. That was some of the worst worst viewing I've had in a while. It was really poor. Of course, we had chances. I mean, nothing amazing. It was like expected goals are pretty similar, even though we had 22 shots and they had 7. Palmer had a chance here and there. He had a couple shots on target. He sliced one really badly off target. Reece James skied one. The lap, well, late in the game, the lap had a chance on a platter. Reece James with an amazing ball across the box or in the air, but it comes low. It's like a low-ish, like a medium height cross that falls nicely to Kukurea, who lays it off for Liam Delap, and he skies it. He absolutely skies it. And I'm like, bro, somehow Ipswich finessed us for 30 mil. I don't know how that's possible. That should have been an amazing market opportunity. That's like a no-fail move. And somehow I'm still feeling like 30 mil was too much. We have to somehow finesse some other team into buying this guy for like, if we could sell him for 35 mil, we've done amazing business there because this guy is not looking like he's worth that money. But it was even a chance later where Enzo plays a decent ball through, and he did all right there. I mean, there was not much he could do. The ball was kind of wide, and Chiao was able to get a corner out of it. There was a few penalty shouts. Most of them not much in it. There was one that I think could argue goes either way, where Voltemade, and we need to talk about Voltemade, but he does make contact with Palmer in the area. It's kind of a 50-50 because it does look like Palmer's foot was on top, but Baltimore does make the contact with Palmer, who does have the ball. He doesn't get any of the ball. I can see why they upheld the on-field decision, and maybe there wasn't enough in it to overturn it. So I'm not like here to make a fuss about that and say that should have been a penalty. But Ultimata, that's a player. I know we have all these attacking players. I know Quenda's coming in the summer and all this, but the lap hit the road, Jack. We need to get him out of here and bring in Voltemada. I mean, okay, there are probably other strikers we could bring in. I want like Julian Alvarez or something. And obviously, Joao Pedro is having himself a decent season, but he has no rotation. You could tell he looks tired because today the lap goes up top and he's playing in the 10 and he's dropping back, picking up the ball off center backs, and he looks exhausted. And we need someone who can properly rotate with him, who has similar qualities to his game in terms of the link up play, the technical ability, and Voltemada. Voltemada is getting ruined by Eddie Howe. This dude spent 65 minutes defending his box. This dude was protecting his back line. You see him squaring up against Palmer, trying to defend him in different situations. And then he gets subbed off like 65, 66 minutes in, well, 67 minutes in, doesn't get to play up top at all. Anthony Gordon is the striker now. I can guarantee you he was sold a dream in the summer to come in and replace Alexander Isak, or at least to share minutes with Jan Vissa, who isn't even getting minutes himself. I don't know if he's injured or what. I mean, I guess he sold Newcastle a dream, low key, and then Newcastle sold Nicholas Voltemade a dream. I don't know what's up with Jan Vissa. He's not even on the. Oh yeah, he's on the bench, but he didn't come on. But he was sold a dream to come and replace Isak with Vissa's injury, especially. And this guy is now playing in midfield, defending his area for 60 minutes and getting subbed off. We need to chat to him. Tell him there's a role for you to get serious minutes in the striker role at Chelsea. I mean, obviously, ideally, like I said, we'd be going for maybe bigger targets, but I don't know. It's worth a shout. It's literally worth a shout. I think we could get a discount on what they paid for him too. Honestly, but honestly, like I said, I still would look like a Julian Alvarez or a Osimhen or something. Still, we need bona fide bagsmen. But either way, there's not much more to talk about. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep the video under 10 minutes, and we're approaching that. So like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff would be much appreciated. Like I said, Chelsea, we're sacrificing the league and we're already going to lose the Champions League. It's looking like PSG coming up, scary. Everton, not promising. City, United. I mean, it's looking spooky, but I appreciate you guys as always. Be the 10th subscriber. Be the special 10th. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.